So yesterday I had the amazing pleasure of attending Marilyn Manson's concert in Green Bay. And I'm just gonna go over everything, all of what I thought. This was my third big artist concert. I went to Rammstein and Avril Lavigne prior to this. But this one was the one I really wanted to go to, because since I started listening to him, he's really been my hero of sorts. I really like the themes in his music and a lot of the philosophy of what he's about. So I became a fan just recently in 2024 during his comeback. I remember just sitting there and randomly getting recommended As Sick as the Secrets Within. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't really listen to him that much, but, I should probably check this out. This is interesting, because I thought he was kind of away for now. Turns out the song is an absolute banger. And then that song just turned into, I started listening to it religiously. It's one of my most favorite songs ever now. And I instantly got caught up on everything that's going on with him, like the fact that he's had these allegations and now he's back, he's 4 years sober, he lost a crap ton of weight, he genuinely looks like he just went back in time and took back the body that he had back in the 90s. And that came as a huge shock to me and a lot of fans, I'm sure. And I instantly saw, he's performing right near my house. But unfortunately, I was underage at the time, and though tickets were $60, I could not attend the concert because I was a minor. So unfortunately, I could not use the opportunity to see him as soon as I became a fan, because that was literally 2 weeks after. Yeah. And you might think that it's just a spontaneous thing, you liked one song, but a month will pass and you wouldn't care that much anymore. But that's not what happened. I became addicted to his music. I listened to a lot of his work, and especially Antichrist Superstar. That's my favorite one. I watched pretty much every interview you could possibly find on him, and I realized that I am now under the impression that 90% of what people say about him is just straight up not true. He does not seem like the type of person who would do most of the things he's accused of. I'm saying most because we'll get to it later. But he definitely did not assault or rape any women. I just can't bring myself to believe that. I'm a reader of faces. I'm a extremely empathetic person, and when I see a face, I can kind of tell what kind of life a person lived based on what's written on their face. Anyway, that's might sound a little superstitious, but whatever. So, yeah. Then, this year, 2025, I decided I wanted to read his book because I had a English class, and we needed to choose a book to read to later make a presentation on. And me, as the diehard fan that I am, I decided to read his book, The Long Hard Road Out of Hell. And there I found a lot of very disgusting things about his life. Obviously, it wasn't anything bad, non-consensual, but I'm not sure, but okay. Plus a lot of it was a lot of it was made up. But if you read the book, you get what I mean. It's not that serious, okay? He's just a little weird with his bandmates. The book was really hilarious. Some parts I wish I could forget. But most of it, I felt so immersed in the time period of the 90s. The 90s is my favorite time period to learn about. because I feel like so much stuff was happening, so much change was going on, and yeah, and it also had the best music. So yeah, so I read his book, and then I really tried to get a bootleg of Antichrist Superstar for the longest time. I watched different basically different providers for about a year until I found one that had a reasonable price. So yeah, and I finally got myself a Antichrist Superstar vinyl. Wouldn't you know it, we finally have this gem. One moment. Okay. I've been waiting over a year for this. Not that I ordered it a year ago. I got it 1 week ago. Ow. Oh my god. There it is. This is one of the best albums to have ever been created. And it's not easy to get. This is a bootleg. The original pressings, they exist, but they're like hundreds of dollars. And I have it now. And now I'm here. It is May 11th, and last night, I finally got to see him. And honestly, while I was standing there, I just could not bring myself to believe that anything that was happening was real. Before entering the venue, however, we had we were instantly greeted with the best possible welcome you could get for a Marilyn Manson concert, because as we drove into the parking lot, there were Christian protesters.
He is vastly more powerful than any satanic fallen angel or any disciple of Satan like Marilyn Manson. We want to invite you to come out of the darkness and come onto the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ. Don't go in there. Please reconsider, because your soul may depend on it. Marilyn Manson does not care about you. These rock and roll stars do not care about you. But I'll tell you what, Jesus Christ cares for you.
Yeah! Class. And they stood out there for a while, until everybody got into the venue. But they really made it sound urgent, it's not too late. You can still choose the right path or something. And yeah, I thought that was so awesome, because how that happened at every Manson concert back in the 90s. I watched all the videos, and back when there were huge crowds, just loads of people protesting. And this was basically a confirmation that opposition still exists. You see how polarizing a musician can be, like a 30-year-long career, and the protests are still happening. People are still against it, and I think that's what's so awesome. It means he's still relevant, right? It's not just some old fart from who was famous back then getting back on stage. It's a guy who's still holding his presence and honestly, like, even built his presence up even more now that he's off drugs and you know, really got himself together. Yeah. And so we drove in. There was a group of people just kind of sitting out there on chairs, and I came up to them, made friends with them. Super nice people. Shout out to them. They're probably not gonna see this though. If they do though, hi. It's Anastasia. Yeah. And later on, I found the live stream of the guys that were protesting, and it just had everything. It had me driving in, and then me talking to my new friends, watching the live stream, the stuff that I missed. There was apparently a girl who came up like a little, like farther away, right? Because you don't really want to interact in case, you know, it turns nasty, like into a fight or something. But a girl, she just felt like it, so she walked up a distance away and started just shaking her ass at them.
Christ says, the Holy Spirit is speaking to call you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. Jesus Christ is light.
Unbelievable.
Though you might have fun and sin for a season, you will pay all eternity for it. We don't want you to go to hell.
I don't zoom in on that, right?
Come to Jesus Christ. Consider what I'm saying. We are merely here preaching the gospel, asking you to consider what we're saying. Come to the gospel of Jesus. Let God move within you. You know that what this is. You know that it's wrong. You know it's wrong. There is no answer. There is only death and destruction in there. Marilyn Manson made his deal with the devil.
And then there were people walking from cars, like right next to the protesters, right? They were just on the way to the line, right? They weren't interacting or anything.
We want you to get saved.
I love her CD. Smells like children. Smells like children. He's
I understand.
Pedo. He's a pedo.
See, those devil horns will go down on Judgment Day, though. We don't want that for you. We got it right.
Smells like
Jesus
children.
saved us.
That's a great title. Antichrist Superstar. That's great. Remember this moment.
Conversation with them. They're like, smells like children? What kind of name is that? He's a pedo. And the lady, she was like super chill about it. She's like, you don't understand anything. Like, do your research before you protest. Like, it's not what you think it is. And they're like, no, we're right. We understand this. You don't. Like, and just, wow. That is just wild. I don't know, it was so interesting, and I'm surprised I did not hear it, but probably because I was talking to those guys over there. They were really chill, like super fun talking to them. They've been to Manson like multiple times, and I think that's really cool. They've been around since like the beginning, which I'm really jealous of. Alright, so we have arrived at the Manson show, right next to Ashley Home Store. We've got protesters. Holy shit! Вау, это прям будет что-то такое более уютное. Упс. the whole thing felt almost like really like a dream. Just like a very vivid dream, and I have very vivid dreams. So yeah, I could just not really believe that this person that I've found, like, pretty much idolized. I don't really idolize anybody, but there are some famous people that you might agree with more than others, and that you might really, like, truly respect for certain things. And for me, that is him. Like, I haven't gotten as deep into any other music artists as I did with him, because there's just so much nuance to his music and the themes in his music. Like, there are analyses on YouTube by this guy, The Launchpad, super detailed, very well constructed analyses of Marilyn Manson's albums, and I just was shocked by how much thought Marilyn Manson put into crafting each song and into crafting the concept for the triptych, especially. But nevertheless, I was at the show for real. It was not a dream.
I fucking love you guys. This next song is for all the survived abortions on Mother's Day. Green Bay. I fucking love you. I haven't quite played this one in a long time. This is for you, the nobodies. to disagree. Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody looking for something stronger than watching you. Some of them wanna get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be you. Let's see what we got over here. We got a painting! We got a Tim skull! We gotta go, we gotta go. Do we want more? As you feel to be one of the beautiful people. Yeah.
oh my god, when he came on stage, I was like, I could not even process it properly. The first 5 songs, I already knew what the set list was because he uses the same set list for every show. Like, I literally am up to date with everything that's going on with his band and a few other bands. Yeah, and so they started with Not If You Understand, and then they went into Disposable Teens. And then a few more songs, and then Angel with the Scabbed Wings. And right about there is when all the insanity truly began, because during that song everybody started jumping up and down, and I naturally did also, because how could you not jump to that song? And right next to us a mosh pit formed, and that was the first mosh pit I've ever seen in my life, especially up close. I don't remember Rammstein that well. I'm not sure if there was a mosh pit. Probably there was, but I was like high up. I was not at the ground floor, and honestly I wouldn't go down there. It looks genuinely terrifying. It was at Soldier Field, Chicago. It was a mind-blowingly large stadium. Like, I could not even describe to you. If you were there, you would know how big that place is. But this venue was super small. It fits 2,000 people at most. I don't know if there were 2,000 people there, but it was stacked, like super crowded. At some points, because of the mosh pit, we would all have to like really stand close to other people, and it got claustrophobic at points. Like, I thought I would just get trampled and wouldn't be able to breathe. But that was like maybe twice, and then it was fine. Like, actually people gave you space, and I tried to give people space, especially to make sure they can see, because I'm pretty tall. Yeah. But man, it was so cool seeing the mosh pit. Honestly, it was also very terrifying, because it's big drunk dudes, and they're knocking into each other, and they're also like pushing out, like outward, trying to expand the circle. And I was like in the second row behind the people that were getting pushed, that were like right in front of the mosh pit, and I was scared. Oh my gosh, it's about to like turn into a full-on fight, but gladly it didn't. And we were all safe the whole time. Like, I mean, you know the mosh pit rules. Don't pull in anybody who doesn't want to, and if somebody falls, you pick them up. Yeah, I'm never gonna do any of that though. I draw, so I need to protect my arms. Okay. Let's see. The best moments are obviously during This Is the New Shit. That is like, I don't know how you write a song that gets you that hyped up for living. It's just like each time you listen to it, it never gets old. And then obviously Sweet Dreams and The Beautiful People, those were the big hitters. That's when everybody really jumped around. Oh my gosh, I'm like really tired. I'm trying to remember like the details exactly, because again, it's like, it's just so hard to process just how cool it is at some points. Like, when you're just standing there, I feel like you don't really understand what's going on, like that you're actually there. That's the big problem for me with like these very once in a lifetime events. Like, I find it hard to process that it's actually happening to me. But yeah, so obviously it was super loud, and the venue was small. It actually felt like we were one big family, right? Or like we were one big family in this place, in this small little place. There's like red lights everywhere, black walls, and obviously the lights shooting at you from the stage. Crap, and where was I going with this? And by the 5th song, I already understood that my ears were basically not able to tell my brain exactly, like, how do I say it? the sound was muffled in my ears. Like obviously I could hear perfectly the noise, the sound, but after songs ended, I tried to talk and I understood that my hearing was a little bit limited because of the volume, but that like passes after a concert. But also when you can't hear properly, like the noise really does something to your ears. You can't process how loud exactly you're screaming, because everybody's screaming, you're screaming, and you think you're not screaming loud enough, so you try to scream louder, and as a result you end up really messing up your voice. And on the 5th song I already felt my voice hurting, and I'm like, yeah, I can't scream anymore because I'm just gonna mess my entire voice up, because it's like 17 songs on the set, and I'm not one to afford that because I like to sing. So yeah, okay, yeah. And just like the atmosphere, there was a bunch of rednecks there. It's Green Bay, so just like a bunch of the OGs, you know, like people who were there back in 1997, back when it was the peak of the band. And we heard, like, as we were in line walking into the venue, we heard from behind like stories like, oh my gosh, you know, he used to tour with 9 Inch Nails, and oh my god, I saw him like sucking his dick or something. Like, it was actually so hilarious. And I was like, me and my dad heard that, and I like turn over to him and I'm like, oh my gosh, I read about that in his book. You see, I'm like Gen Z. I should technically not know about this artist in such detail, but I did the research. Not only did I do the research, but I read the freaking biography, which I feel not everybody really wants to do. So I'm proud of myself. I think I had every right to be there and every right to understand that I was actually there. I'm not schizo or anything, by the way. Like I can differentiate dreams from reality. This is just me, like, just trying to express how insane this was. Yeah, and then there was the encore with Tourniquet and Coma White. I could not sing or anything at that point, so I was just kind of mouthing the words, and at some point I really had to like close my eyes and take it all in during the more emotional songs, because I mean, these songs really mean a lot to me. Like, I turn them on whenever I feel down, whenever I feel like I'm the outsider from in society. Like, obviously, like when you don't fit in. I feel like that goes for every fan of this artist and other artists similar to that. And it got me through a lot. And it also, I don't know, I feel like Marilyn Manson as an artist, after discovering like the themes and the history behind his music, not just like his own history that he has lived, but I'm saying like he pulled from actual history to like historical references like John F. Kennedy and his assassination, and crap, there was some kind of gate, I forgot about what the name was. It's like this super underground Illuminati creepy thing. He actually went to the gate too, but basically he used a lot of these references in his music, and I have not seen any other artist who does that as heavily as he did, especially in those albums. Right now his albums are a little more personal. Well, actually not a little more personal, they're like super personal, so he's not really building a story about worms or anything. He's just talking about himself and kind of updating us through his music on what he went through in the past 10 years, I'd say. Yeah. And then Coma White ended, and just like that, they just left the stage and we left. So yeah. And that was my experience.